questions.
Why in the world is that a law?
That's a really dumb question.
Shouldn't the law be more...
What we should be asking is, how did that become a law? Why did that become a law? And so that got us thinking, how many other laws are still on the books that are just completely outrageous? Have you guys found any?
Yeah, well, laws exist because someone
screwed up
something along the lines. So think about that as we go along, because I found some interesting ones locally here.
Welcome to the Only Stupid Questions podcast, where we ask the questions that may be too stupid to ask. I'm Brandon.
I'm Bobby.
And I'm Matt.
Only stupid questions.
Yeah, so last week Michelle was in Bear Lake with the kids.
Love Bear Lake. Oh.
Who doesn't?
The shakes are absolutely legit.
Totally.
Sorry.
In fact, this weekend I'm going to drive up there and get me a raspberry shake.
Let's go at lunch,
Might as
gentlemen.
well.
Let's just go now.
A couple hours to kill.
We
Might
got
as well.
this.
Why not?
Okay, we're going.
I'm down.
Shake review coming your way. Anyway.
Yeah. No, she was up on their beach and just kind of fell asleep, and she woke up because something was shadowing her.
Like the sun just kind of went
Yeah,
away.
the sun just went away.
I felt that before when we were laying out.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's kind of cold.
Well, the eclipse happened, right? Recently.
Yeah.
It wasn't during the eclipse.
No, it wasn't during the eclipse. This was something else. So it woke her up, and she noticed that there was a giant moose, like within feet from her.
Wow.
I know.
That's
Crazy, right?
dangerous.
Totally dangerous.
That's crazy.
Moose are not nice.
You know, when I was a kid up near Bear Lake, hiking one of those trails, whatever, I don't know if this was me making it up, but I have to believe it was like actually a core memory. But I remember seeing a moose on the trail and feeling like I was being chased by the moose because we ran back to camp so fast.
Ooh.
Maybe.
You were moving.
The moose may not have been chasing me, but in my memory, that moose was like right up on my butt, and I was running as fast as I could.
More people are killed by moose than
huge.
bears. Yeah.
They're huge. They're big animals. I mean, if you've ever seen a moose up close.
Yeah, they are big.
They're big animals, for sure.
So what you're saying is they're not nice like Bullwinkle.
No.
Was Bullwinkle the moose, or was it Rocky?
Hey, Rocky.
Is it Rocky? I don't remember.
Rocky's the squirrel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Bullwinkle
is the moose.
Is the moose. Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, Rocky talked like this. And, Bullwinkle. Anyway. Wow, terrible.
No, that was great.
No, I was reading. I don't know how this came up. I was reading an article, and it says that in Alaska it is illegal to view a moose outside of an airplane. So you can't look out of an airplane window and view a moose. That's illegal.
What?
So you can't view it out of an airplane window, or that's the only place that's legal?
You just it's the law that I read, guys. You can't view a moose outside of an airplane as the airplane's flying.
Well, does that mean... Well, I think I could interpret that two different ways.
Okay.
The only place you can view a moose legally is if you're inside an airplane looking out the window. But if you're outside of the airplane, you can't view a moose.
You can't view a moose from an airplane is the law.
Well, this seems dangerous either way that's written, because what if I'm just out for a walk and I see the moose? Like, I'm breaking the law?
No, you can't view it from an airplane.
Well, that's not what you said.
So...
You said the only way that you can view a moose is from an airplane.
I did not say that.
The way it's worded,
Wait,
I
what?
Replay the tape.
Okay, I'm confused.
Replay the tape.
All right, that's fine, but whatever. Why in the world is that a law?
That's a really dumb question.
Shouldn't the law be more...
What we should be asking is...
Stay within a certain amount of feet from the moose
Okay,
because
yes.
it's dangerous?
Okay. That's not as stupid a question as I thought, but it's still kind of funny though, right? How did that become a law? Why did that become a law? And so that got us thinking, how many other laws are still on the books that are just completely outrageous? Have you guys found any?
Yeah, well, laws exist because someone
screwed it up.
Screwed up something along the lines. So think about that as we go along, because I found some interesting ones locally here. So in Utah, there's some really strange
Did you
laws.
find any favorites? Any?
Yeah, I got a few.
Okay.
So one is actually really local, even to the town I live in. You can't... Okay, I'm just going to read it to you, okay? People must present identification to enter a convenience store after dark in Kaysville.
So these are laws that are still on the books.
Yeah. So you can't go in without expecting to show your ID after dark.
Doesn't matter what I'm buying.
Doesn't matter.
To enter the door,
That's right.
I should technically be passing a bouncer to get into the convenience
Correct.
store.
You have to
After dark.
After dark.
At least flash your
Dusk
ID.
doesn't count, apparently.
Okay,
but
okay.
after
And
dark.
in the winter, when it gets dark early,
Yeah, like 5.
just on my way home from work, you got to pull out that ID.
Yeah.
Have it ready.
Is it just I've never stopped in Kaysville after dark, or is this just not enforced?
Yeah, I don't think it's enforced.
No, you've never been.
I've never been ID'd, and I've been to many a convenience store after dark.
So even though it's on the books, maybe these aren't enforced. That's
And
interesting.
apparently this one isn't enforced. Or I look like a trustworthy guy.
You know, it makes you wonder why would they, like, what had to happen to put a law like that
That's crazy.
on the books?
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. But something, because it wouldn't be there, right?
Maybe there's an issue with shoplifting once upon a time, but Kaysville's a pretty safe place. Anyway, that's
Does having an
interesting.
ID make you less likely to shoplift? Like, are they writing down
yeah,
who you are?
I think you are less likely to shoplift if you know they know who you are.
Yeah, or you're showing your ID and there's a camera recording somewhere,
Right.
So if you do rob the place or something.
This
it's not
sounds
your
like a law from maybe the 60s, 70s, 80s. I mean,
Could be.
it's
Doesn't say.
just never been taken off the books. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of dumb laws, though, this one's more recent, 2012, in my neck of the woods, North Carolina. They passed a law that taking kitchen grease, kitchen grease, that's worth $1,000 or less is a Class 1 misdemeanor. So if you just happen to be cleaning out the grease trap, whatever,
And take a little for yourself.
and take a little for yourself,
a little something.
you know, you're gonna get a misdemeanor. I guess over $1,000. It doesn't say here, but does that mean that's a felony?
That's straight to jail, sir.
Yeah.
What are you in for? Stole some grease.
I stole some used kitchen grease.
That's where the phrase grease in your palms comes from.
Oh, okay. Is that?
No, I don't know. I'm just saying. You've heard that, though, right?
Yeah, I have.
You gotta grease your palms.
I mean, I gotta be honest. I've never thought about stealing some kitchen grease.
Now, if I had a biodiesel car, I think that's maybe what. And, when did that? Does it have any like years or dates on it?
2012.
Okay, so
Fairly recent.
So there is a recent movement with biodiesel fuel. You can turn that into some valuable stuff. So you can actually put it into a car if it's built right.
In some ways, though, aren't you almost doing a service to that kitchen that needs to get rid of this grease? Or is there an active market to sell said grease?
And then, does the car smell like French fries?
You've gone limp.
Someone didn't want me to talk about it. So that's big grease
You're being
coming at me.
censored.
My microphone fell for those of you who are just listening.
That's awesome.
And Big Grease is listening. They know. So oh my goodness. So one of my favorites, I'm going to stick with this state of Alaska because the moose one got me going. So it's illegal, guys, to be drunk while in a bar.
Wait a minute. What? Where else are you gonna get drunk?
I mean, I'm not a big drinker, but
So you know
isn't
the-
that kind of the point?
You know the place where you go to drink and potentially get a little buzzed or drunk.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was interesting. That is an actual law that is still on the books in Alaska, along with viewing a moose from an airplane. That's illegal. So I thought the other one that I saw, moose related, it's illegal to push a moose out of an airplane. That is a law on the books in the state of Alaska.
You know, I just think anybody that's gonna have the cojones to get a moose into said airplane
And then push it out.
and then push it out.
But like Matt said
Let it
earlier,
happen.
this is a law because
Someone must have
someone
done it.
did it.
So did the moose
Think about that.
complain or the person trapped in the airplane with moose complain?
Probably the person on the ground that got hit by it.
Right?
Can you imagine? What's that in the sky?
It's
a
a flying
bird.
moose.
A plane.
Hey, Bill.
A moose.
Is that a moose? Oh, don't you know? Oh, yeah. Yeah, Bill, that is a moose.
Well, you know, one of my biggest fears is getting hit by something from the
From
sky,
an airplane.
right?
I know
I've told
this.
you that, right?
That
I
from
did not know that.
I
before.
think,
Yeah.
I think Matt
It's
told
true.
me that from like the first week I knew him.
It's a
I've
legitimate
known this
fear.
fear.
Yeah.
You're always looking up
Uh-huh.
to see what might be falling.
Yep.
Matt will see an airplane and he will look up and
Until
around
it passes.
and around. It happens every
Yeah, it's
time.
an odd fear, but it's a fear for sure, and it's a real one.
I mean, I think the odds of getting hit by something falling from the air is fairly low.
But
could totally
especially moose.
happen.
but not zero.
I have seen news stories where planes have dropped their like septic
Right.
tank
And it's hit
over
sides of
neighborhoods.
houses.
Yeah.
Yes, I've seen the same
That's his
stories.
exact fear.
So it's really that you're afraid of.
Yeah,
not
blue
just anything.
poop, coming from a
If
frozen
the
blue
airplane's
poop.
dumping their tanks, that's your fear.
Yeah, he just knows his life will end with a blue meteor from a Delta liner.
It's gonna be.
Yeah.
Yep.
Telling you.
And speaking of fear, just some of these other crazy Alaska laws. You can't wake a bear to take a photo.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And
I think
Someone's
they're
done
cuter
that.
when they're
right.
sleeping.
So somebody has nudged the bear, poked the bear literally,
poke the bear.
and said, "Hey,
You
smile."
gotta smile. There's a picture.
And then this last one, somebody brought flamingos into a barber shop. So
Maybe they needed a haircut.
So that's a law. You can't do it.
Flamingos are not native to Alaska.
No. So it makes it impressive to me that that's a law.
Someone must have done it.
Did
Somebody.
they really need to make it a law like this is going to happen again thing?
It probably happened on multiple occasions. Probably the same
There is
person.
no way.
So this is I don't see a date on it. It's either a super old one where something weird was happening, like a circus was in town, or this is super recent where people are now taking support animals with them everywhere. We see support alligators, support peacocks. Maybe it was a support flamingo that he brought in multiple times to get his haircut.
Probably.
And, anyway,
How would you like to be the city councilman, like sitting for the weekly meeting of, and on the agenda today,
bro.
Flamingos.
Mr. Black from the barber shop has a proposition for a law. What's going on, Mr. Black? Oh, this other dude, he keeps coming in with his flamingos to my barber shop.
All in favor?
I?
All opposed?
Nay! If you
Shut up, Bill.
if you ever get really angry though in here in Utah, and you happen to have access to a bunch of missiles, don't try throwing those at buses.
Wait, the word is throw.
Hurl is the word.
Hurl.
Hurl missiles about.
So not launch, not shoot.
Just don't hurl it. So
Yeah.
I could launch it at the boss.
This is an actual law.
Yeah, it's code 76-10-1505 if you want to look it up. But it says hurling missiles at buses is a third-degree felony.
Third degree,
Yep. But there's a caveat.
not
here.
a shot on sight situation.
Law enforcement is exempt. As long as it's within the scope of their job. So if it's in the scope of their job to throw or to hurl a missile at a bus, they can go ahead and do it. But you and me, Joe Citizen, can't.
I've just
Only
got
in
some.
Utah.
I've got some
I'm offended.
questions
I'm
here.
offended.
Like one, like if I hurl a missile, why is that only a class 3? Like I could kill some children.
Could be worse, I guess.
Or are these not live? Because they're different degrees. Like if it's a live missile that could detonate, this is more severe. But if it's just an empty canister missile, you get your class.
Maybe
3.
we should look up the language of the code
Holy cow.
and see. I don't think it specifies.
Isn't there just like a general like law of don't throw things at moving vehicles that this could be covered under?
This had to be specified, Bobby. Which
Specific.
some of these are more impressive than weird. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
Because it could be a city bus, it could be a school bus, it could be bussing. That's not bussing.
Well, do you know why Mike Tyson's never boxed in Utah?
Uh-oh.
No.
Is he banned from...
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Biting in boxing is banned in Utah.
In Utah. So
Yeah.
he couldn't have done that if he was in Utah. It would have prevented that whole incident if he was
Seriously?
boxing in
That's
Utah.
correct.
I
It's
can't
code
come to Utah.
76-9-705.
Now, was that passed before or after Mike
I don't
did
know.
the guy's
I don't
ear
know
off?
that.
Yeah,
but
we need
it's
context.
probably after. I would guess that they witnessed that with Holyfield and thought, yeah, we
Now, is
better.
that a city law or did the state legislator take this up?
That's a Utah code. Also, as part of that, there's no striking the Adam's apple, groin, eyes, or temple of the head.
Just in boxing.
Just in boxing.
So some people don't know this. We've had some boxing legends come from Utah. And so, okay, maybe at one point they spent some time on some boxing legislation.
Yeah.
Gene Fulmer comes to mind. Look up Gene Fulmer, Utah boxer. Okay, so somebody spent tax dollars writing those at one time.
Seems like a great use of time.
You ever take your hands off your handlebars when you're riding your bike, Brendan?
Okay. You coming at me with some biking laws now?
Yeah, you can't do it. You can't do it in Utah.
Just one hand?
Well, let's see. It can result in fines, it says. No matter how skilled you are riding a bike without touching the handlebars, this can result in fines.
But I'm really good at
Couldn't it just be it could result in you crashing and getting some scrapes in your arms?
And a fine. So insult to injury, literally.
We're going to fine you for that.
You have to have one hand on the handlebar. You can't just go no hands, all right? Don't be fancy footing your bike and
How am I going to text
going no hands.
and wave at my friends?
No, you can't do it.
Well, just don't come to North Carolina and go to the Outer Banks.
Okay.
On Kill Devil Hills, it's actually a law. You have to keep both hands on the handlebars while riding a bike.
I can't wipe my brow.
No.
I can't.
No, you got to stop.
You
for
got to do it
that.
like this.
You got to pull over somewhere where it's safe.
Well, in Connecticut, there's no biking over 65 miles an hour, so now I have to go slow.
Anybody who can ride their bike over 65 miles an hour, let them be. They are a freak of nature.
It's called a motorcycle. Yeah, that's unreal. There aren't any hills in Connecticut. How are you going 65?
Yeah, rolling hills.
But again, that's a law for a reason. So they've had issues with people taking their hands off handlebars or going over 65 miles an hour
on a pedal bike.
That is nuts.
That is nuts.
If you can pedal 65 miles an hour,
you need a mountain to do it. And,
Yeah, you've seen that guy though go like full Superman on his bike,
Yep.
right, down a hill.
Yep.
That's probably 65 miles an
You
hour.
need a mountain to do it.
Yeah.
Connecticut has
Yeah.
no.
well, I just feel like, stupid is as stupid does, and if you do something stupid, there's a consequence. Why can't we just let consequence be the effect? Why are we writing a law about this?
I don't know, but if you're still in Connecticut and you're biking under 65 miles an hour and you're keeping the law, one thing that you have to consider here is their pickle laws. So Connecticut has some really strict pickle laws. You guys, you guys fan of pickles?
Yeah,
I
I
love
like
pickles.
the occasional gherkin.
Okay, sweet dill.
Dill all the way, no sweets.
I really like dill, but lately I've kind of been into some bread and butter pickles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's acceptable. I'm full dill. I'm with you. That's the deal.
That's the deal.
That's the real deal. And so their law, this is still on the books. This is real. A pickle cannot be considered a pickle, nor sold as a pickle or labeled as a pickle, unless it bounces when dropped to the height of 1 foot in the air.
What?
So you have to hold it at least a foot off the air or off the
awesome.
ground, and it has to bounce. Otherwise, you cannot label it a pickle.
Who does the testing?
That's unreal. Yeah,
wanna be that guy.
That is state regulation.
I really like pickles, and I've never considered their bounce factor. I may need to add that into, is this a good pickle? And just drop the jar in the grocery store. And if it bounces, it's good. If it's not, I'll be like, I'm not paying for that. Those can't be pickles. It didn't bounce.
This was a substandard pickle, sir. I will not pay.
I think the less bouncy pickles are better. Anyway, I'm a Clausen guy. So if you guys,
Those are pretty solid.
they're free.
I like
amazing.
the crisp as you bite into
Yes.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
feel
but that's
like,
not a rubbery pickle that's
No.
going to bounce, right?
Should we do a pickle review episode
Yes.
where we buy a couple
Yeah,
different
I don't
pickles?
like rubbery pickles.
No, Clausen's where it's at.
Okay.
Good job, Clausen. They're not paying us for this,
He's
but they should be.
that's the stork. Am I right?
Yeah.
Advertising.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Okay. Now, some other crazy Connecticut laws I just thought I'd throw out there. It's illegal to educate a dog. Pause for effect. Pause for
So does
effect.
that mean you can't train your dog to go
I
outside?
don't know
and
what
poop
that
and pee,
means.
or
It sounds like
you
maybe
can't teach them to read and write.
you can't.
That's a rough law.
You can't educate the dog.
That law's all bark and no bite.
It's a doggy dog world. Yeah. It is illegal to cross the street while walking on your hands.
No way.
What if
I had a
I'm
nickel.
a paraplegic and I lost my legs in the war
You
and I
are.
walk on my hands?
You got to fight for your rights.
There's
sir.
probably an exemption that you could get.
So
Yeah,
I need
I'm
an
sure there's a
ADA
tag you can wear.
Yeah,
to be able
ADA
to
tag
cross.
or something.
It's the least of your
my
worries,
hands.
I'm sure. Walking backward after sunset is also a law. You cannot do it.
What if
'Cause
I'm
you're trying to
backing
reverse
away
time,
from
see?
a perpetrator? Like they're chasing me and I'm backing away.
No can do. Those are extenuating circumstances. Maybe that's built into that.
They would arrest both of you. Both of you
We're
go to
both
jail.
breaking the law.
And if you're a beautician, you are not allowed to sing.
Yeah. No
And
singing.
speaking of doing
it's
things with
interesting.
your hair, did you know in Arkansas,
Okay.
the school teachers who put their hair in a bob will not get a raise?
What?
Yeah.
That's
So,
So,
all
but-
these teachers
And I
complaining
agree
about
with
not
that
getting
law.
paid well. Quit putting your hair in a bob and you might get a raise.
I totally agree with that, though. Whoever came up with that one has my
How do you
vote.
feel, first of all, a haircut named after you? Are we feeling good
I'm
about it?
flattered considering
Okay.
I'm a bald guy.
Second, wow, that's a law, guys. That's still on the books.
Yep.
Ladies,
That's
you can't
awesome.
you can't chop the hair or no raise for you.
Well, have you ever heard the phrase "Don't cry over spilled milk"?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, don't do that in Utah. It'll get you into trouble.
No, wait, what?
Yep.
Crying over spilled milk or
Well,
spilling the milk?
the Utah law says that milk consumers, that is, so you and I drinking some milk, it's illegal to unfairly discriminate against milk distributors. Let me try that again.
Yep.
It's okay. Unfairly discriminate against milk distributors and criticize the grade or quality. Okay?
Wow.
What does that have to do with spilt milk?
I'm just saying you can't criticize it at all.
I can't criticize that this milk is bad.
Yeah, you can't. Not in Utah.
That feels dumb because, like, I like good milk.
You can't discriminate though, good or bad. You
So
can't
I gotta
say.
buy the good and the bad.
You just can't say. You can't.
does-
You
Can't
can't
talk
go.
about
You
it.
can't talk about it. So if you get some bad milk, just don't go there again. But you can't complain about it.
Well,
or you
then
get in
I
trouble.
broke the law at IHOP several years ago when they served my toddler very, very sour milk.
Yeah.
'Cause I was like, this milk ain't no good. Poor kid. You know, he's learning words and he's got this sour milk and my wife's like, drink your milk.
Don't whine about
Then
it.
she tasted it when he wouldn't drink it.
Hey, are you saying milk?
Yeah,
or
I was
milk?
gonna. I think we
Milk.
need to double back here and
Milk. Am I
address.
saying that wrong?
We need to address this.
I don't know, wrong or right, but
So
it's,
milk.
Milk.
So there's
I
a
milk
Jillian
the
Smith
cow.
episode on YouTube about this milk. You said milk.
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 I milk
Who's
the
saying
cow.
Milk?
M-E-L-K?
Oh, he said milk.
Milk the cow.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure it's spelled M-I-L-K.
you're right.
It's kind of like the guys that say crick
It might
versus
be-
creek.
Okay,
it's
that's-
not.
that's
It's
a
not
crick.
C-R-I-C.
Right.
It
It's
is a
C-R-E-E-K.
crick. I milk the cow down by the creek.
That was a
No, you
little bit-
milked
that was a little better.
the cow down by the
You
creek.
don't milk it. Milked's not a word.
It is
I milked
spelled that
the
way.
cow.
You milked the cow. You didn't milk the cow.
Milk.
I did milk the cow.
Milk. Now I'm gonna think about the way I say it.
And it wasn't a creek, anyways. It was a babbling brook.
Milk.
No, it's a crick.
Okay.
Do you guys want some milk?
Milk takes a lot of effort to say.
Milk.
If it takes that much effort to say, it's not worth it.
All right.
Milk.
Well, hopefully you don't end up dead. If you do, and you're in Maine,
Uh-oh. Here it comes.
you're not allowed to put an ad or advertisement on your gravestone. You're just not allowed to do it. That's a law. You cannot advertise on your gravestone.
That's weird. I'm totally going to do it here. There's no law in Utah, right?
All right. So what advertisement are you putting on your tombstone other than like a pizza or...
Maybe I will.
Bob's.
Okay.
Bob loved operating his pizza store there, and forevermore 50% off.
No. Mention this tombstone, get 50% off.
That's perfect. That's what's going on mine.
Wow. So that's an actual law. You're not allowed to have your Christmas decorations up after January 14th. I fully support
I
that
do
law.
too. That should be a law here.
Wow, that's a great law that is on the books.
Yeah, but what about the new Christmas lights that you can just change the colors and have them for every holiday?
Well, that might be... this says decorations. This
And
is...
lights might not be a decoration.
And if you
I
change...
consider it a decoration.
I do too.
You're
but
probably
never-
changing those over to Valentine's Day or President's Day. What are the colors for
I haven't
President's
done
Day?
it.
I don't know.
Juneteenth.
I got a quote on those lights once, and I was like, holy cow,
Yeah.
who's dumb enough to do this?
Yeah, they're not cheap.
They're expensive.
not
And a
cheap
lot of
at all.
people do it though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the convenience thing. You know.
Yeah.
You don't have to mess with
but
it and get on roofs. And
You know
people
what else
fall
is
off ladders.
convenient? Just don't put it on.
Well, that's true, but then you're the Scrooge of the neighborhood.
Yeah, you are. Give us Frosty. They,
Free Frosty, free
Fr-
Frosty.
Free Frosty. Oh, man. That's great.
Well, speaking of laws, in Georgia, do you know all citizens must own a rake?
Must own a rake.
Must own a rake.
I support that law too.
Get
I
out
think
and do your
everybody should
yard
have a
work. You
rake.
must own a rake.
Makes sense to me.
I mean, they got a lot of trees.
Yeah.
Leaves fall
Peach.
off of them.
That's the peach state, right?
Has that ever been enforced? I gotta. Oh, that's a.
I mean, it would have to be.
Why is that one the most intriguing one I've heard so far? You're forcing all citizens to have a rake, and again, I agree with it as well.
I wonder
But
how they check that. They just go
Right.
door to door
Like,
and they're
how
like, we're
did
doing
that
a
even
rake
come
check.
up?
Was it more that, hey, you got leaves on your lawn?
bring out your rakes.
Show me you have a rake.
Yeah, I see your leaves. I don't see a rake.
Mm-hmm.
So
So the issue is not so much you have leaves on your lawn, but do you own a rake? That sounds great.
I'm going to bring that to
Oh,
the city council
no.
here.
Yeah.
See if we can get that law
My
passed.
I don't think my neighbor owns a rake, and I think that's a problem.
Georgia's got some crazy ones, man. You can't carry an ice cream cone in your back pocket on a Sunday. That is a law on the book in Georgia.
Well, in Gainesville, Georgia,
Okay.
it's illegal to not eat chicken with
To not
use
keep
your
going.
hands to eat chicken.
Oh,
So if you're gonna go get you some fried chicken, you got to eat it with your hands.
you have to eat
Don't
with your
be
hands.
bringing out those silverware. That's pretentious.
Whoa.
Interesting.
Are they?
But
Are
again,
they
I fully
really
support that.
So it's Gainesville, Georgia, not Gainesville, Florida.
Gainesville, Georgia.
Gainesville, Are they really into chicken or something?
Well,
Or really
but they
not?
have good fried chicken in the South.
All right, all right.
Like, don't get me wrong, but chicken must be eaten with the hands. So what about a chicken cordon bleu?
I don't know. Is
You
that
gotta
considered?
grab that thing. And
It
just-
must say like fried chicken on the bone or something.
Yeah, it's a
right?
sandwich. We've got some listeners in Atlanta. Maybe we can follow up on with some of them. Go out to Gainesville. Tell us if that is being enforced. Like,
go to the local KFC and get you a chicken and say, "Do you have a fork and a knife for this, sir?" That is against the law.
wow, that seems to me like something that would be funny if it was enforced, and it would bring more notoriety to the area and the town, and that'd be cool. Okay, I kind
You
of
know,
like that one. I
all
kind of like
these
that one.
TikToks and stuff that some police departments do. I think it would be funny for every police department in the U.S. to do like some bits on enforcing these dumb, obscure laws. You get a lot of laughs.
Yeah, totally.
Oh my gosh.
Like, where's your rake?
Yeah.
Exactly.
What do you mean? You don't have a rake?
That's right.
Come with me, sir.
They're gonna rake in the
Here's
fines.
here's your citation
Uh-huh.
for not having a rake.
Right. I would frame that. That'd go
It'd be
viral on
kinda
social
cool.
media.
I would
wouldn't
just
it?
love to be a court reporter sitting in a courtroom with people coming in to contest some of these laws.
Yeah. Well, there's two reasons I don't live in Logan. You want to hear them?
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. Women can't use profane words in Logan without risking a fine.
Logan is a pristine place. My wife is not allowed in city boundaries.
Is it
Okay.
like the town
Equally, though,
Footloose? What are we talking about here?
a husband is responsible for every crime his wife commits in his presence.
So
Oh,
if
and-
my wife starts spouting off some words, I'm responsible.
Yep,
Oh no,
If it's in your
exactly.
presence.
Two reasons I don't live in Logan.
I can't control her.
Because one of those cannot be controlled and will not be controlled.
But you're responsible. You can't control her, but you're definitely responsible
It's in your
if it's
presence.
committed in your presence.
What she would say is, "I would like to see you try to control me
That's nuts.
with some profanity."
Oh my gosh. So no Logan for Matt. and
Yeah,
his
no Logan
family.
for Matt.
Okay.
We'd be constantly in jail.
That's
Fighting
crazy.
fines, anyways. Yeah, no good.
Well, you guys fans of Hawaii?
Yeah,
I
Hawaii.
hope to go. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
if you move there, you better get a boat because all residents may be fined as a result of not owning a boat.
Really?
And if you want to get a tattoo, don't try and get it behind your ear or your eyelid unless you're in front of a physician.
Like behind your eyelid? You're saying behind your
behind
ear,
your
and
ear
on your eyelid.
or on your eyelid,
Unless you're in the presence.
unless you're in the presence of a physician.
Well, that's it. I'm not going to Hawaii then.
Yeah, that ruins it for me. Yeah, I wanted some, like, what's cool to get behind your ear? Lips? Are people doing that still?
I don't know.
They get like kissy lips, and then they'll tattoo
Teardrops.
like mascara, like permanent mascara on their eyelids.
You
Anyway,
better not unless you're a physician.
I'm done with Hawaii, guys.
Yeah,
I gotta
it's over.
I gotta turn it in.
I mean, seriously. I mean, if I have to own a boat, I'm not going there.
That's ridiculous, guys.
Just kidding. I love a boat.
I'm feeling less American as this episode is going along here. Some of the final ones that I just want to mention, I'm going back to the Midwest here because I think we need to fight for our rights there. Pig greasing was so much of a problem in the state of Minnesota that it's now illegal. You cannot grease a pig with the intent to recapture it.
That's lame.
That is a law in the books since 1971.
Well, there's a lot of animal laws out there. In North Carolina, you can't use your elephant to plow your cotton field.
Oh, okay. Well,
Are you
yeah.
kidding me?
I mean,
Why not?
That just makes sense to me, Matt. I think we're going to disagree
no
on this
sense.
one. Yep.
An elephant's way tougher than a mule.
For sure.
Think of how much you could plow with that elephant.
Absolutely. Just
But
get
it's
you a couple
illegal.
of elephants, too.
Yeah.
Mules are
You can plow the North 40 in no
mules
time.
are handy. In Georgia, it's illegal to keep a donkey or a mule in a bathtub. Just throwing it out there since you mentioned the mules and the donkeys.
Well, here's a
It's
fun
good so you
animal.
can't have your ass in your tub?
There you go. Yeah. That's legit, guys.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Sorry.
Thank you. No, that's good.
Well, out near me,
Leaving it in. Yeah.
if a man asks for a woman's hand in marriage,
Oh, where is this?
out near me in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Okay. I'm ready.
Yeah, so before a man asks for a woman's hand in marriage, he must be inspected by all the barnyard animals on the young woman's family's property to ensure a harmonious farm life.
The
The
animals.
animals must inspect the man before he can ask
How
for
do
her
they
hand in marriage.
do this inspection?
I don't know.
Is it just a sniff test?
I don't think I want to know.
I'm hoping it's just a sniff test.
That's a weird one.
That's a strange one.
That's a really weird episode of Babe.
What kind of a backwards town is Raleigh?
Right?
And the people who live there and work there are.
Well, we also want to make sure if you're going to sing that you sing well, because in Nags Head, North Carolina, you can be fined for singing out of tune for more than 90 seconds.
Okay, I support that one too.
I do too.
Yeah.
That needs to be a law here.
I do too. That's plenty of time to get a good karaoke tune out. Minute and a half, sit down.
You better come with auto-tune to the karaoke
Okay.
bar, because more than 90
Or
seconds.
just keep it at a
Yeah,
reasonable time.
Or just don't sing. If you know you can't, don't do it.
You know, I love singing in the shower. My wife doesn't love it when I do it, but I do it anyway.
You got to belt it out in the shower. Everybody knows
Exactly.
that.
Right.
But if I was in Nags Head, North Carolina, I might get fined.
Okay.
Even in the privacy of your own home, though? Or is that in public?
If I sing loud enough.
Okay. I support.
Okay. That's unreal. These are actual laws that are still on the books.
Oh, and don't get sick in Asheville, North Carolina.
Still happening.
Because it's illegal to sneeze on city streets. I hope you don't have allergies.
I also support this one.
Wow.
Just saying. From a guy who has allergies, I don't want to be the victim of a walk by sneezing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but what do you do if it just comes on? I mean, Asheville's out in the woods, and
You,
I gotta sneeze.
yeah, you
get
just
off
make
the
it so
city
it's
street.
not
How do you avoid
heard.
it? How do you... Oh, man.
Do your crimes in secret.
That's nuts, man.
Well, I'm a big believer that politicians could do way better. These are some good examples of where they
Wow.
could do way better.
I'm with you.
It is an election year, people. So make your vote count.
I think it's time.
Elect the right people who take these laws seriously. Support the laws that you believe in. Wow. What a great episode. What a dumb episode.
That was so dumb.
So dumb. We only found one or two out of those 100 laws that actually sounded good, but
Yeah, I liked it.
unreal.
Well, I've got an
Stop
update.
these.
Well, I've got an update for you on a news story.
Okay.
If we want to talk about some
Yeah.
stupid news.
I think we're ready.
So
Stupid
you
news.
remember a few months ago on the Assuminati podcast when I talked to you about a stingray that had gotten pregnant
It's a
in
great,
Asheville,
great
North
podcast.
Carolina?
Great story.
Right.
Great stingray. I remember it well.
Yeah.
Yep.
You remember her name? Charlotte.
Charlotte. Yeah.
Yeah, Charlotte the stingray. Well, Charlotte lives with a bunch of sharks.
Well, it was a miracle.
Well, she got pregnant.
Right. Hallelujah. Hallelujah for Charlotte.
The first news story, if you remember, was did a shark impregnate Charlotte?
Yeah.
The stingray?
Yeah.
And then all this research was done. They brought out some people to look into it, and the story was, well, stingrays are rarely, but it can happen. They can get self-impregnated, right? So this is a miracle.
Oh, yeah.
Charlotte's going to have a baby.
Heck yeah, I can't wait.
She hasn't been around any other male stingray for many, many, many years.
Yeah.
Just these sharks.
We're looking forward to the birth.
So what we've ruled out so far is the sharks are not the baby daddy.
Okay. Bruce
Guess
is off
what?
the hook. Got
Hot
it.
off the press this week.
was a
Charlotte's
sperm
not
whale?
pregnant.
What?
No, Charlotte's not pregnant. Unfortunately, this is a really sad turn of events.
Bro, I'm mad.
Charlotte was getting a little bit bigger, which led them to believe she
bummer.
was pregnant. Unfortunately, Charlotte has more like a tumor. It's probably cancer.
Oh, come on.
So while they've been having all these baby showers and stuff for baby stingray, Charlotte's probably going to die. So they've closed the aquarium to the public so that they can bring in some specialists to work on Charlotte. So Charlotte's not pregnant. She's just lacking proper medical care.
Like you mentioned, they threw baby showers for this thing.
Oh, it was big.
They got to give the gifts back. Isn't that the rule?
I think so.
You
That stings.
got to give it back.
Yeah, because a gift for a tumor versus a baby is just kind of insincere.
That's out of line. Nope.
That's like asking a fat girl when she's due.
Not cool.
Not quite the
It's
same.
Not cool.
No, it's not cool that you brought that up, and it's not cool when people do it. So
Well, anyway, so don't believe all the news you read because
that was a big story.
That was a big story.
You've shattered my world today.
That made national news. I saw it last night, and
There needs
felt
to
a little
be
bad.
some kind of a law made here. I don't know what it is. You cannot hold baby showers for stingrays. We got to put that on the books.
that don't have a known baby. daddy.
Right. And you can't accuse a shark of being the baby daddy.
I was thinking it was a sperm whale.
Well, the sperm well wasn't in the aquarium, but I see where you're going with this. But the other thing, they brought in vets and stuff. I doubt there's any like sea life veterinarians in Asheville. It's in the mountains.
Asheville is.
Well, North Carolina mountains. It's in the Appalachians.
I'm sure there's
This
some good old
reminds me of that
boys who can...
song when you go to Asheville. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay, sing
From
it.
a musical?
Yeah.
Belt it out, but into
No,
it.
can't do it.
No more
It's
than
against the
90
law. What
seconds.
if I go off a little bit?
No more than 90 seconds.
It's only if it's played in Nag's Head. But I'm assuming they brought in the local cattle vet, horse vet.
Got to look under the hood.
He
Yeah.
maybe hasn't done a lot with stingray, but they did like the ultrasounds and stuff. Yeah, that wasn't no baby stingray.
That's too bad.
Poor Charlotte.
I will petition for a law. That's ridiculous. They got our hopes up.
It's a bummer.
This is how those laws get started, guys. Stories like this.
Exactly.
Somebody went too far, and a law had to be made to prevent it from happening again.
I'm sure Asheville City Council is bringing this up on the ballot.
Okay, I support it. What a
100%.
what a dumb ending.
So
Thanks for that.
it's the least they could do.
I enjoyed it.
Charlotte. Hey, thanks for listening to the Only Stupid Questions podcast. Give us a like and a subscribe. Please leave a review wherever you listen to your podcast.
Only stupid questions.